Make a list of everything you will have to do to achieve your goal. We say that writing out a list transforms your thinking in the most positive and powerful way. Combine the skills that you'll need, the people that help you'll need, the obstacles you'll have to overcome, and write them down and list every single step that you can think of to achieve your goal. Determine the amount of time and/or money it will take to achieve your goal. Do you have the resources you need? If you don't, how can you acquire them? Remember, successful people are always thinking, how can I assemble all the resources I need to achieve what I want to achieve? Combine the obstacles that you'll have to overcome, the knowledge and skills you'll have to develop, and the people whose cooperation you'll have to require into this list. List every single step that you can think of that you'll have to follow to ultimately achieve your goal. And as you think of new items, add them to your list until your list is complete. It's interesting, Napoleon Hill said that the writing out of a list of the steps is what changes your life. What we also found was this, is that if you make a checklist of everything you have to do from the beginning to the end, it'll increase the likelihood of achieving your goal by probably 10 times. When you make out a list of all the things you will need to do to achieve your goal, you'll begin to see that this goal is far more attainable than you thought. What you'll see is what was a fantasy before starts to become a reality. The more things you write down, the more you think, well, I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do this and this. And it starts to occur to you that doubling or tripling your income, becoming financially independent, hey, I could do this. Like Annie in the movie, in the play, I could do that. I could do that. Henry Ford once said that anything can be accomplished if you break it down into enough small steps. As I said before, Confucius said a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You can build the biggest wall in the world, one brick at a time. Now, number 8, and this is really important, this is what requires thought and judgment and foresight on your part. Number 8 is to organize your list into a plan. First, organize your list by sequence. That means, what do you have to do before you can do something else? What is the order of steps, like the checklist I talked about? Next, organize your list by priority. What is more important and what is less important? Remember the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results will come from 20% of your activities, from the things you do. The 20-80 rule also says that the first 20% of time that you spend planning your goal, organizing your plan, will be worth 80% of the time and effort required to achieve the goal in the final analysis. Planning is very important. Number 9, make a plan. Organize your list into a series of steps from beginning to end, from start all the way through to the completion of your goal. When you have a goal and a plan, you increase the likelihood of achieving your goals, as I said, by 10 times, by 1,000%. There's a rule that says every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution or carrying out the plan. So, be a planner and think on paper. Think on paper. Plan each day, each week, and each month in advance. All successful people plan in advance, which gives them a chance to think through what might happen and what they could do to either make it better or to avoid danger. Plan each month at the beginning of the month. Lay out the 30 days and work out what you're going to do each day of the month, just generally speaking. Plan each week the weekend before. I met a very successful person some years ago, and he told me what changed his life after he started his first job was his manager sat down with him and invited him over to his house on a Sunday afternoon and said, "I'm going to teach you how to plan your week." And he was quite surprised because he was used to using the weekend just hang out, play around. This very successful manager taught him how to plan his week in advance. He said that contributed more to his success than any other piece of advice he ever got. Plan each day the night before. Make a list of everything you have to do the following day before you go to sleep. The wonderful thing is that your subconscious mind can work on those items all night long, and when you wake up in the morning, you'll have all kinds of ideas and insights on how to complete the tasks and achieve the goals that you wrote down. Remember, the more careful and detailed you are when you plan your activities, the more you'll accomplish in less time. Number 10, select your number one most important task for each day. This is the key to time management. Set priorities on your tasks and always work on the most important one first. Set priorities on your list using the 80-20 rule. Ask yourself this question: if I could only do one thing on this list before I was called out of town for a month, which one activity would I want to be sure to complete? And that becomes the task that you start on before anything else. Whatever you answer to that question, put a number one next to that activity. Then, as you're analyzing your list and setting priorities, you ask, if I could only do one other task on this list, which one task would be the most valuable use of my time? Then write a number 2 next to that task. Keep asking this question: what is the most valuable use of my time on this list? Until you have your 7 top tasks organized by sequence and priority. Here's another question that you can ask: if I could only do one thing all day long, which one activity would contribute the most value to my work and to my goals? You see, focus and concentration are the keys to success. Focus means that you are clear about exactly what it is that you want to accomplish, and concentration requires that you dedicate yourself to doing only those things that move you toward your most important goal. Number 11, and this is the biggie, develop the habit of self-discipline. There seems to be a direct relationship between self-discipline and success in every part of life. The number one reason that people don't succeed is because they can't discipline themselves to do the planning and preparation and then the hard work necessary. So how do you discipline yourself? You make a list of everything you have to do during the day, you set priorities on your list, and then you start on your most important task first thing and discipline yourself to keep working. Once you've decided on your most important task, resolve to concentrate single-mindedly on that one task until it's 100% complete. In time management, we call this single-handling, and single-handling will increase your productivity by as much as 500%. It is a key practice of all top people. Your ability to select your most important task and then to work on it single-mindedly without diversion or distraction will double and triple and even 5 times the quality and quantity of your output, your productivity, and eventually your income. This is one of the most powerful of all time management techniques. This means that when you start with a task, you don't do anything else until that task is complete. Once you've developed the habit of completing your tasks, you will earn 2 and 3 and even 5 times as much as other people. Now here's an interesting discovery. Self-esteem comes from task completion. Whenever you start and finish a task, it gives you a burst of endorphin. You feel like a winner. You feel happy. You have more energy and more motivation. Task completion motivates you to complete more tasks. And the bigger the task that you complete, the happier you feel and the more motivated you are to complete even bigger tasks. This is one of the great secrets of success known by top people. Step number 12 is to practice visualization on your goals. How do you practice visualization? You create clear, vivid, exciting, emotional pictures of your goals as if they were already a reality. See your goal as if it were already achieved. Imagine yourself enjoying the accomplishment of the goal. If it's a car, imagine yourself driving this car. In fact, go down and test drive the perfect car for you. Get a feeling for it, smell it, take a picture next to it. Take a picture of yourself being in the driver's seat of the car that you want to own and look at that picture on a regular basis. If it's a vacation that you want, see yourself on the vacation already. Get pictures from the brochure. Put the pictures around your house. If it's a beautiful home that you want, see yourself living in a beautiful home. Here's one of the great characteristics or techniques of getting a beautiful home is start going to open houses in expensive neighborhoods. My wife and I started doing this when we were young with very little money. And within a couple of years, we were in a beautiful home and then another beautiful home. When you walk through beautiful homes that are for sale, you start to get an unconscious picture of a composite of the beautiful home that you want for yourself. And you start to attract into your life possibilities to achieve that home. What we attracted was opportunities to earn more money so that within a couple of years we could afford the home that we were visualizing. Now, in visualizing, take a few moments to create the emotions that would accompany the successful achievement of your goal. We say, get the feeling. If you would be proud and happy, feel being proud and happy. Now, what we've learned is a mental picture combined with an emotion has an enormous impact on your subconscious and your superconscious mind. It activates the law of attraction. It draws into your life people and circumstances to make it possible. A picture combined with an emotion is electricity that sends out a force field of energy from you that attracts everything you need to make that picture a reality. Visualization is perhaps the most powerful faculty available to you to help you achieve your goals faster than you ever thought possible. When you use a combination of clear goals combined with visualization and emotionalization, you activate your superconscious mind. Your superconscious mind then solves every problem on the way to your goal. Your superconscious mind is perhaps the most powerful faculty that you have available to you, and it is activated by a clear goal for which you have a burning desire. Your superconscious mind activates the law of attraction and begins attracting into your life people and circumstances and ideas and resources that will help you to achieve your goals even faster. The fact is that you have enormous untapped potential. You could be earning 3, 5, maybe 10 times what you're earning today in the years ahead. You could probably accomplish all the goals that you can set for yourself. Here's an interesting discovery. It's not possible for you to set a goal, to write it down, and to make a plan for its accomplishment without your having simultaneously the ability to achieve it in some way, somehow, through some method. So the most important responsibility you have is setting goals in the first place. Goal achieving seems to be automatic. It's the goal setting that you are responsible for. The incredible thing about goals mastery is that it's really life mastery. And the sooner you begin to develop successful habits, the sooner you'll reap the financial, personal, and professional rewards that go along with them.